New document solutions from Foxit. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Foxit is SDK team lead Jeff Brand. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And Foxit has been one of the leaders in PDF and e-signature products. And now something new. Give us the overview.
We've been a leader in the allowing PDF editing within a web application for a while. One of the things that we've done with this new release, version 11, is to really improve some of the issues that arise from implementing applications within a web browser. Particularly, we would lean on native browser capabilities to perform certain tasks or to provide certain user interface elements. And the problem is it's not always the same across different browsers. Whether you're looking at Chrome or Edge or Firefox, you might find a difference in behavior, and it might also be not necessarily the nicest or most consistent with our and other desktop applications. So what we've done is taken responsibility for all of those UI elements and actually generate them ourselves within our own UI canvas. So that way there's consistency across platforms, across web browsers, but most importantly, consistency and performance improvements, just like in our desktop applications.
So step us through the significance here and how this is done and really what it means for developers and companies.
Sure. Well, the first and foremost, what it means is that it's a cleaner user interface. It looks more professional and more complete and consistent, and we have more control in those types of refinements as opposed to relying on the browser vendors to create this experience. The other thing is that performance is greatly improved. So historically, most web applications just operate within the single thread of the browser. So any long-running application can cause a pause or a momentary a lapse in action or responsiveness. What we've done is separated all of that out, basically enabling multi-threading, so that within a web application, so that the responsiveness of the application is just like you would have experienced any time before in a regular desktop native application. And so for developers, they just get better products. It seems more stable to the users. Are not seeing these pauses, so they end up having happier customers. And it's just nice when the computer reacts as fast as you want to go, as opposed to waiting for something or seeing something that maybe doesn't look as mature and polished as you might have expected.
Aside from the developer perspective, tell us what this means for users, everyday folks out there who may encounter, I guess, one of these documents.
Yeah, and it's primarily around PDF forms when you're filling in a form online, and a lot of times form filling online would just be in a web form because it's directly tied to a database. But that's not always possible. Sometimes there's forms that are mandated they're provided by the government or some other agency or business, and rather than recreate that form in the web, they want to display it to whoever needs to fill it out and maybe sign it as the original document. That way, there's no a question about the authenticity of the document or the version or any of that, should anything legal arise in the future. And so what this enables is that native PDF editing and signing experience right within the browser without manipulating the document in any way that might cause any question. It also ensures that the document reflects the author's intent. So things like helper tooltips to let you know what you're supposed to put in this box, JavaScript that enables the PDF to actually validate itself. So there can be logic in that PDF that says, 1 + 1 should equal 2. If they put a 3 in the box, we should let them know there's something wrong. All of that is designed often by the forms designer in the PDF. And by displaying that in this type of a viewer, all of that validation stays, just as if they were editing it in Foxit Editor or Adobe Acrobat on their desktop, except in this case, the end user doesn't need to install any software. It's available in the web within the application of whoever's delivering this, this website. So that way, there's zero install. It's highly portable. You can fill it in on a phone or a tablet or a computer without installing any software at all, other than a browser. But they all come with a browser these days.
So this is designed to make it easier to build browser-based PDF applications.
That's right.
Is there much of a learning curve to using it?
No, it's exactly the same as a desktop application. And in fact, there's less of a learning curve compared to, the old way was to tell your users to go download a PDF viewer like Foxit Reader or Adobe Acrobat, and you'd see the links on the page next to the download. Well, you have to download it. All the user interfaces there, and there's all these things that you might do that you're not supposed to the document. With the web SDK, or with our SDKs in general, the developer can fine tune the user interface to the specific actions that that you might want the user to take. So you can eliminate all of the noise, eliminate all of the unnecessary UI artifacts, buttons, and options, so that you can really streamline their learning experience. It just becomes natural. It's clear that there's a box. I'm going to click in there. I'm going to start filling it out, and it can even walk you through the steps if you want to. The developer can take the user through that journey, so that's more like a wizard experience as opposed to having them fill out the form all by themselves.
Tell us a bit about pricing and maybe how people can learn more about this.
Sure. So developers.foxit.com is our website, or even just foxit.com. You can find the developer tools. Pricing is driven by the features that you need. So some users or some developers want to be able to edit PDFs. Some don't want to. Some want to be able to sign PDFs or have real-time collaboration or support for XFA forms. So the number of features that are licensed is what drives the base price, but then the size and the nature of the deployment, whether we're talking, in this case, the web SDK is typically going out to end users, but sometimes it's going to go out to a population, and we're not counting the users, or users might use one time, like a mortgage company enabling e-signatures, for example. So we have different models. It might be going to a mobile device only. It might even be automation on a server. So the features and then the size and the nature of their deployment are what drive the pricing for the PDF SDKs.
Makes sense. Now, tell us a bit about some of the other tools available from Foxit for end users. You've got lots
Sure.
of stuff that people can make use of.
Well, it's really nice to talk about the SDK, because usually what people want to talk about is our Foxit PDF editor. This is the number one alternative to Adobe Acrobat. It provides a superior PDF editing and manipulation capability and a familiar like Microsoft Office type of user interface, but at a lower cost, with a faster and more stable working environment. So this is I've been a long time user of Foxit. I've been in PDF since 2008, but for the first 10 years I was at a company that worked just on server-based stuff, and we used Foxit throughout the organization just because it was so much better than the other alternatives available in the market. So in addition to first-class PDF editing on the desktop and in the cloud with Foxit Editor or with our SDKs, we also have our eSign product, which is a great competitor to DocuSign. And it enables integrated signature or just straight signature solutions. If you need to collect signatures from people, especially multiple people, that can really be a tedious task. And this product makes it really easy to set up a document to be signed, send it out, and then make sure that people actually do the signing. It's very convenient for the end user. They don't have to, again, download any software. They just click a link. There's the document. They review it. They can sign it. If there's a need for a notary to be involved in the process, we can enable that with an online notary service. If there's a need to collect a payment to maybe consider the sale done, we can enable payment collection through the signing process. So it's really a more fully featured end-to-end product that's easily integrated into pretty much any application or workflow, so that if you're putting out an application that includes that type of functionality or your own internal business workflows, it's really easy to make that work within your organization. And then we also have our enterprise automation products. And these are really a couple of products that are designed to take the most tedious tasks that you might do. Maybe open a document, OCR it, optimize it, save it, maybe rotate the pages. That's if you just have to do that a couple of times a week, or maybe even a couple of times a day, that's okay in an editor where you're doing it yourself. But if it's hundreds or thousands or even millions of times a day, then this just becomes unfathomable. And this is where our enterprise automation solutions come in. We have PDF compressor, which can, convert scanned images and reduce their file size by up to 95%, but also convert documents that are digitally born, like Microsoft Office documents and other images, into PDF, and do all other types of manipulations that you might want to automate. And then the next level up from that is the rendition server, which is an enterprise grade version of that product. It's designed for massive scalability. And this is the product where if you have 20 million documents a day that need to be normalized to ISO standard PDF or PDFA and made fully text searchable all at the same time to prepare for, let's say, claims processing. If you're a large insurance company and you want to make sure that the adjusters have access to all of the documentation immediately without a myriad of software installed on their machines. This enables that, and at extremely high volumes. And lastly, we also recently released our PDF services API. This is effectively a PDF tools that are available in the cloud as web services, so they can be easily integrated into workflows. If you have a cloud-centric workflow, maybe documents are sitting in your Salesforce or in SharePoint or any other repository, and you want to take some action, convert them, rotate them, extract data, insert data, all automatically, but you don't have any infrastructure where you want to install software, then you can take advantage of our hosted cloud services to perform a myriad of actions against documents, or even generate documents from scratch, including Word documents, and taking templates and putting variable data within these documents, generated on the fly and in high volume, and again with no software installed on your infrastructure at all completely in the cloud.
Well, you've got solutions, it seems, for every level of user
It's
here.
PDF. If it's PDF, we're there. It's a rare occasion where someone calls up with a PDF problem and we can't solve it. And when that case comes up, usually we're solving it pretty soon afterwards. We have a lot of tools that are in our tool belt, especially with the developer tools, that really anything you need to do, we can usually accomplish.
And the writing is on the wall in back of you.
Yeah,
Foxit.com is the name of the site once again.
that's
Jeff,
right.
thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.